YouTube, what is going on today? Well, I would say it's a special day, but tomorrow I feel like some big news is coming. Everybody has seen that the SpaceX IPO is going to be the biggest IPO in history, and blah, 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 blah. You should buy it. I'm personally not buying it, and I'm going to tell you why. And this is a big issue that I've done, and I've lost a substantial amount of money. Today, I'm going to be talking about how I lost $20,000 through investing in a similar fashion, which is whatever is trending right now, you go in and you do it. And especially with being young, it's just a recipe for disaster. I'm going to explain why. And the main thing is our time horizon, right? Like our time horizon, if you are a young man in your 20s, should be consistently investing and staying in the market for the next 20 to 30 years, 40 years maybe, depending on the account and what you want to do with it. So I went heavy and had my 401k invested in, standard, Fortune 500 funds, like a conglomerate, like a Vanguard, VOO, VT, all that sort of stuff. And I took it out instead of just letting compounding do its thing, because at the time I was like, oh, well, inflation, is really this much. And so with these returns, you're basically just breaking even. I need something that has an extra kick. I need to get these bigger, fatter returns. And while not all of that is wrong, I do think regardless, even if some years you're breaking even, regardless, you're not losing any cash. You're still getting free money if you're at a company match. And realistically, I don't think inflation is near like a 10%, 12% per year sort of thing. I don't think it is true when they say 2 to 3%, but ideally optimistic, right? I'm thinking it's probably around like 6 to 7%, like legit 6 to 7%. I don't know, all speculation, but regardless, I was like, these funds are all bogus. It's all bogus. And so I thought, well, you know what? Let me just take my entire 401k and bet it all on one stock. So that's exactly what I did. I didn't take out my 401k, but I did what's called a personal choice retirement account, a PCRA, and I put it all into MicroStrategy stock. And if you follow Bitcoin, you follow strategy, I'm still bullish on them. I'm still bullish on strategy on Bitcoin, especially on Bitcoin. However, I bought it at the peak of all the hype of Bitcoin's all-time high. And if you guys know, strategy is 2 times leveraged Bitcoin. So when it goes up 10%, strategy goes up 20%. And when it goes down 20%, strategy goes down 40%. So it's a very highly speculative play, but I thought, what the heck? This money's locked up anyway, and it's all bogus. I put it in, and of course, this was around October 6th of 2025. I don't know exactly what point strategy was the highest, but I had been just a lump sum, all in. And I watched what I had $40,000 in there go down to $20,000 in a matter of like 4 months. And it was so painful. And I was like, you know what? Okay, I learned my lesson, because this isn't the first time, and probably the same for you guys, anybody watching this, you've FOMO'd and went all in on this one certain play that you were sure is going to pay off. And somehow it never does. I don't care what it is. It never does, because it's never that easy. You can never get the quick cash. It doesn't work. Quick cash does not last. So I ended up taking a loss on it, and I just put it back into what I was normally betting on, which is my standard funds, but this time with significantly less. And I've just been building it up, and I've been letting it ride. And with my other accounts, because like I said, my time horizon is long. And if it's things that I'm truly, truly, truly confident in, that no matter what, I would never sell, I'm not just trying to trade, then I'm going to stick with those. Okay, so this is what I did with my Bitcoin. I was like, I don't care if Bitcoin goes to 0 or it goes to 1 million. I'm never selling it. I'm going to keep DCAing in here. I prefer it to go to 1 million, but right now we're in a pretty significant drawdown. This is my first bear market that I've seen through. I was in the last one, and this is where I made the same mistake, and it put a bad taste of Bitcoin in my mouth, and it's an ego test. It will rock you to the bones, dude, to where you see your portfolio drop that much, and you're just like, wow, like I am such an idiot. And I was really feeling that last week. I was on the phone with some people, and I'm like, dude, like this hurts. Like this hurts. I'm down, 50%. I'm still DCAing weekly, like almost daily, at this point. And I'm just like, man, like this is bad. This hurts, And I was just like, okay, I gotta chill. I gotta start buying some other stuff, like blah, 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 blah. And then I just got back to the fundamentals, and I'm like, dude, this doesn't change anything about Bitcoin. In fact, I'm getting what I want half off. And I've never had that much conviction on something before. But with Bitcoin, I do truly see it as being different. The fact that it has no CEO, it doesn't have a marketing team, it doesn't operate on anybody's decisions. It's just kind of out there. And I really like that, because it felt like with strategy, and I still have some money in strategy. I'm not a hater. I actually like Michael Saylor a lot, but I know they were diluting the common stock to buy more Bitcoin, which increases the Bitcoin per share. However, I just wanted to see the fiat dollar amount go up, right? I was in it for the quick cash. I was in it for the wrong reason. And so, like I said, guys, this isn't my first time that I've done this, and I know it's going to be my last time, because that sucked. That was, it's a lot of work to build up, for at least with where I was at, being part-time at my job, to set aside $40,000, and in a matter of 2, 3, 4 months, get smoked and lose half of it. And this is why I'm super big now on my 2 retirement accounts in those safer, more peace of mind funds that are just always going to go up, because for one, they're never going to stop printing money, and number 2, they got to keep the whole system going. Like this stuff, it's not like it's just going to wake up and it's like everything's cooked. The only thing that's worth anything is Bitcoin. It's still going to be worth something, but yeah, man, I was just like, this hurts a lot, and I started second questioning myself, at least on Bitcoin, and being down so much. But when you really study this crap, it's like there's no second best option. I don't mean to just sound like regurgitated lingo from these like pro Bitcoin channels, but seriously, like this is the only asset ever that's come out with a finite supply and a finite amount. So regardless, we've never experienced anything like that that's deflationary, because more time goes on, there's less and less Bitcoin being mined every 10 minutes. More people are losing their Bitcoin, and everything else can be inflated. Stocks, they issue more stock. Money, they make more money. Real estate, they build more houses. Gold and silver, even, they increase the supply. What is it? Even if it's 0.5% a year. And I know it still takes time and energy to get those resources, but and somehow there is a finite amount, right? We only have so much. However, is there going to be a point where technology is so good that you can replicate it just like they do with diamonds, and you really can't tell the difference and it doesn't matter? Is it going to get to a point where how can we have the trust that they're telling us that, oh, there actually is only this amount and there's way more, and they're storing it for themselves but increasing the price of it because it's a scarce amount? Bitcoin is on a public ledger, I guess you would call it, and it's accessible to anybody. Anybody can verify that amount. I'm not going to be like a Bitcoin channel, but I'm just talking about my conviction as far as investing goes. And I didn't have that same conviction with MSTR, so I should not have full ported my entire 401k into it. I'm a little bit older now. I learned from those mistakes. I'm glad I got them out of the way early on. I'm a little bit more disciplined and mature as an investor. So I'm not chasing, the quick pumps. I'm not in Bitcoin for a quick pump to get back out. Like, I really view Bitcoin as a retirement account. So I'm not a trader, and I've done that whole thing before. I can talk about that. I think as soon as you hear somebody say that they want to get into trading, stop being their friend immediately, okay? Just do yourself a favor. I've never met anybody who's a trader that can outcompete these hedge funds or these AI algorithms or teams of like vetted professionals. Bro, forget it. Unless you are the 0.0001, I take back that statement, but chances are your buddy is probably not that guy, okay? So just stop being his friend. Just tell him, hey bro, it was nice knowing you, but I'm not friends with traders. You are an idiot, okay? I know that sounds a little harsh and I'm being a little exaggerated, but just a little, okay? So anyways, guys, that's all I got for you. Don't chase the quick pumps. Don't chase the golden goose. Do things that over time builds wealth, and understand you're going to be in this game for like 10 to 15 years of like putting your head down, grinding. The goal is not to retire, next year. At least not for me. I know that's not attainable. Just straight up, flat out, you can say it's limiting beliefs. Bro, I'd have to make like 10 million a year to retire, okay? That's just not gonna happen. However, over the course of the next 15 years, getting to my mid-30s, could I retire? Most definitely, especially once you build up that nest egg and you see, the projected forward returns, you're like, okay, this is where I'll be at, this is how much I can live. Okay, yeah. Maybe have, a little something to keep you busy on the side, but you don't have to have a job, right? Or you can just do something that you're truly passionate about, being work optional and learning how to monetize that, especially with social media, bro. I've seen people just wipe down their apartment and have these cool little things to the steamer and this and that. You can make a living from anything. That is a fact, and I suggest you start doing it now. Don't wait until you're at a work optional point. These pools got to get clean, man. I'm going to be out there in this AZ heat. It's about 106 out. And I will see you all in the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace.